Hey peeps, Donna here, also known as Schwig. Day 8 done. I went to go see my kidney specialist yesterday. And for those of you who are new to my channel, because I have noticed some new subscribers lately, I have a kidney disease that I've had since I was 20 years old. So my kidneys function has dropped down. I believe it was as low as 30%, and it is now back up to in the high 80s or low 90s. The actual formula to figure it out in the medical industry doesn't work for me anymore because my kidneys are not bad enough. So that's exciting, especially since this is a progressive disease, and I was told when they first found that I had it that I would not live a lifetime without a kidney transplant, and the way I'm going right now, it looks pretty good. So thank you to weight loss. Anyways, I was really nervous about going and seeing her yesterday, and the reason for that is when I went away on my vacation, which was just over a month ago now, for 2.5 weeks, I stopped taking all of my medications. Now, I didn't stop taking my vitamins, but I stopped taking the rest of my medications. So that was atorvastatin. It's like Lipitor and for cholesterol, and my metformin. So I'm no longer taking any injections whatsoever. I haven't since the very beginning of April, I believe it is. April, yep. And so I don't, the Lipitor I take not because I have really high cholesterol. I never have. But for my kidneys, it's better that I'm way lower. So that's why I've always taken it. And I believe that the metformin helps with protein leakage and stuff like that in my urine, not just helps with my blood sugars. So anyways, I stopped taking it. My blood sugars went up a little bit to like the 8 range. Now, I know most of the people who watch, most of my peeps who watch my videos are in the United States, and I know you guys do your numbers a little differently for your blood glucose numbers. So just to give you a baseline, here in Canada, or the way my doctor does it, they want my blood sugar to be between 5 and 7. I've actually been told it should be between 7 and 9 for someone my age, but 5 and 7 is what the norm is for the general everybody. So while I was on metformin, my blood sugars were definitely between 5 and 7. And when I went when I went off of it, it went up to 8.5. I was mildly pleased with that, only because anytime I had tried to go off of any of my medications, like as I was progressing along and reducing my injections, my insulin injections, I would try to stop cold turkey, and I would see my blood sugars go up to like 12, which is dangerous, starting to get dangerous high. So I was pleased that it wasn't going any higher than like the low 8s. So so basically, I was nervous about going and seeing her because my blood sugars had been low and they were going up, and she called me, like, told me what a great patient I was and all the rest of this stuff. But now all of a sudden I'm not. Because I'm trying to do this on my own and without my doctor's permissions, because I don't want to be on the metformin. I don't want to take medications. So I went and saw her. She looked at all my test results and stuff. My A1C is still 6.6, which is really good, but she wants me back on the metformin, just simply because there's a little bit of protein leakage in my urine. So I'll go back on the metformin. She knew I wasn't happy about it, but I'm not going to really truly go against my doctor once I've told them what I've done. And I knew that I would tell her what I had done. It wasn't, so I was hoping I would have her blessing, but no. So she did suggest a couple of compromises, and one of them was, instead of doing 2 pills in the morning and at night, to spread it out and do 1 pill in the morning, 1 pill in the afternoon, 1 pill in the evening. And I said, yes, that makes me a little happier because I'm still reducing the amount that I'm taking. What she did tell me, okay, get this is like, she said, now, if you put my next A1C, if it is below 6.5, she will consider taking me off the metformin completely, which means I need to lose a little bit more weight, which means I'm on the right program and I'm on track to doing that. But it's only 1 point. Well, I guess it's 2 points because it's 6.6 right now, and she wants it below 6.5. I can do that. I can totally do that. I will do that. So back on my metformin. But that being said, she is really, really happy with me. She calls me her poster child for weight loss surgery because she said she won't perform, and I believe a lot of people in the state, in Canada, a lot of doctors won't perform kidney transplants if you are above, and I might get this wrong, I don't remember, it was quite a while ago that she said this to me, but it's either 36 or 38% body fat. So I'm right at 38, but it's not a concern of mine because I don't need a transplant. But she has lots of patients who are morbidly obese and who need a kidney transplant, but they can't even get put on the list because they're too heavy. So she has to try and find doctors here and push to try and get them moved up on a waiting list to get weight loss surgery so that they can lose weight quickly so that they can get put on a kidney transplant list. And she said she literally has patients who are dying waiting for the weight loss surgery and then for the transplant. So it's a tough one. Anyways, she says I'm her poster child. She loves me. She just thinks I'm great. She said, okay, here's another thing though. She was really happy about this. I'm not so happy. So she said, when she started talking to me, she said, what I really like about you, because she could see she was all excited and happy and giving me all these compliments, and I'm looking at her going, and she said, I love your trend. You lost a lot of weight in those first 9 months, the first year that I saw her. She said, you lost a lot of weight. You lost the bulk of your weight, so over 100 pounds in that 9 months, and then it slowed right down. And I'm going, yeah. It has slowed right down, and I'm not very happy with that. And she goes, no, that's perfect. We want to see that. So then I lost, from the time I saw her 6 months later or something, I lost another 30 pounds. So then I'm down 130 pounds, and then, or 135, something like that. And then in the last year, I've lost 10 pounds. 10 pounds. She's really happy about me losing 10 pounds a year. Her reasoning was it's in the right direction. Down, down, down. And I'm like, it's only 10 pounds. So she's really happy. I got to look at it from her perspective. And it is down, so that does make me happy. But I want to do it faster now. I want to do it in this next year. I would like to reach my goal weight, and that is 170 pounds. I did put into the DSK program when you're first starting your, when you first start it, you have to input all your information, like your weight and your activity level and your, and then you find your macros and stuff. I put my activity level as very low, and I put and it asks you what your goal weight is going to be, because it needs to figure out the formula for so that you can reach your goal weight. And I put 150 pounds. Now, I don't know if I do want to ever actually be 150 pounds. You know, I think that might be too thin for me. But, oh, and here's another thing. I had them do my height again, because I thought when I went and had that DEXA scan done, they told me I was 5'5", and I was like, no. I'm 5'6.5", and that's kind of been a thing in our family between my mom and I, because I am the shortest one in the family by, if I'm 5'6.5", by 1/4 of an inch. But it turns out, even on her thing, I'm 5'5". But that still doesn't make sense to me. I gotta get somebody. You know what? These people who are measuring me are shorter than me. And I noticed on the scale, on the back of the scale, it's got that piece that goes up and then it flops over the top of your head. When it flops over the top of your head, which way am I going here? It should be, I think it should be level with the top of your head. But what they're doing is I can feel the pressure on the top of my head, and it's going like that. So I don't know. I need somebody taller to measure me. I did stand up beside people like Foodie Turn Sleevey who are taller than me and stuff, and they're looking at me going, girl, you're not 5'5". Anyways, I am totally squirrely today. I am totally off track of what I was doing. So back to seeing my doctor. She's really happy with me. Put me back on some medication. Doesn't make me very happy, but I'll do it. And if I'll work on getting my my A1C lower and hopefully get off of all the medication. So she didn't put me back on the atorvastatin. I don't know how to say that word. The equivalent of Lipitor. She did not put me back on that. So I'm happy about that. Very happy about that. So now I'm down to one medication only, and then all my vitamins. Here's another thing that we talked about. The patches, vitamin patches. As any of you have been following me for any length of time, you know that I use the vitamin patches, which you probably just saw me take off. So I usually wear them at night. And she's like, you know, just strictly because of the cost, I could probably go back to the pills and stuff like that. So I might try that. I like the patches. I like that everything is staying really level with my blood work and stuff. But there might be a couple, just cost-wise, that I might cut back on because the pills are so cheap. And if I notice a difference in my blood work, then I'll just start taking them again. But I have at least a 3-month supply of all of the patches, and then some of them start running out. But I probably have a good year supply of my iron. And I did talk to her about my iron. The iron patches are the only patches that I have been able to use that have increased my iron. So I was on pills for years. I did, what is that? IV iron. And I think there's a word for that. But and I had to go, is it 3 days in a row? You sit for an hour each time for them to pump this iron into your blood veins. And yeah, nothing made a difference in my iron. It was been low for years and years and years, and now it has leveled out. It is looking really good. I can tell my energy level has come up now. The energy level could be because of the weight loss, could be because of my diet, because it could be a lot of things, but I think the iron also helps that my iron is in the right spot. So I am not going to be going off those iron patches for sure. And we talked about that, and she agreed with me. So I don't remember what else I did. Oh, I packed my meals for the day. That worked out good, and that really got me thinking. I think I said in my last video about really doing meal prep for starting to do meal prep more often, at least daily. So maybe what I'll start doing is every night meal prep for the next day, and work on that, because it felt good not to have to think about what I was going to eat that day and stand there just before I eat with all this food in front of me going, okay, what is it that I can have while I'm entering stuff into my MyFitnessPal? So I'm going to work on that one. But anyways, for now, I'm going to say, if you are new to my channel, hey, and if you're a return to my channel, thank you so much. I love each and every one of you, and thank you for supporting me along this lifelong journey of mine. If you haven't already, subscribe right down there and push the bell if you want to know the notifications, especially while I am doing this 30-day challenge. It will go longer than 30 days, but the operation, oh, I didn't even say this at the beginning of my video, did I? Hashtag Operation Lowest Weight, that it was started by Watch Kitty Shrink, also known as Jess. I think I should have said that the other way around. Or and also the DSK program. I started them on the same day. So if you push the little bell down here, you'll get the notifications that I posted a video, and I'm trying to do that every day. I do my videos daily, but my YouTube doesn't always upload them quickly enough, and so they're not always on there every day, but each day will be on there. So if you're following along with me, give me a thumbs up, and if you have anything to say, put it down below. I welcome any questions that you guys might have about this, about what I'm doing, or anything. Suggestions, give me some suggestions. Give me some food suggestions, like what, you know, some things I might be able to add to my diet that I haven't thought of, or if you guys know of any really great recipes or anything. Anyways, I'm getting way too long with this. Continue on if you want to watch my Instagram stories. Peace out, peeps. Good morning, peeps. It's hump day, and I am getting ready for my day. I have a doctor's appointment that is 2 hours away, and I am packing my food for the day so I don't have to rely on restaurants. So, my breakfast for this morning, breakfast is 2 savory macro muffins and a bulletproof coffee. I'm switching my bulletproof coffee up this morning. Instead of using butter, I'm using coconut oil and MCT oil. So we'll see how that sits. I'm just about ready to head to my doctor's, and I've got my food packed for the day. I didn't pack my last meal because I'm hoping to be back in time to go and take my mom to the movies tonight, in which case I will pack appropriate for the movies. But here is my lunch and dinner. For lunch, I'm going to have an iced coffee. This is 4 ounces of cream in there. And there's also 1.5 scoops of the Nectar chocolate protein powder. And I'm going to have 1 blueberry macro muffin, ounce of cheese, and a tablespoon of butter with the macro muffin. So that's my lunch along with the iced coffee. And dinner is going to be 4 ounces of canned ham, 1 egg. There is also a tablespoon, maybe 2 tablespoons of mayo, some shredded cheese, and green onion. And one more thing, because I'm going to be traveling today, 2 hours in one direction, my appointment, maybe a little bit of shopping, 2 hours back home, I have to take my water with me. I am filling a very large Yeti container full of water and another one full of ice. My husband would say that this is a bit of overkill for a road trip that's going to be this short, but there's really not that much food in here. It's okay, right? So some of you may have seen my finger earlier. I was at a store looking for some weightlifting gloves, and a big piece of flooring fell down, and I caught it as it was falling. But as I caught it, it ripped my fingernail off. But it was still hanging there. It was still attached. So I had to ask the guy who was behind the counter for some scissors to try and fix it up. Anyways, what I was in there for. So what I was in there for was some weightlifting gloves. Anyways, they consider me to be a pretty good customer, and I don't think that was necessarily the reason why, but he says, I feel really bad about your finger, so he says, I'm going to give you these for free. I got myself some weightlifting gloves. I didn't want them for free. I didn't go in there to get them for free, but I got them for free. They're originally 35 bucks. So I saved myself 35 bucks today. But, you know, I'm gonna have to go get my nail fixed. Now, I really have no idea, so maybe you guys can tell me, will she be able to fix that with it that far down the nail bed? Like, can they put something on that again? I have no idea. On that note, I saw my kidney specialist today, and guess what she called me? Poster child. She just loves me. She says it's a breath of fresh air to have somebody who is doing everything right. So I'm heading into the movies now. I've got 2 movies to go to with my mama, because we do that every week. And I've got my movie snacks, so here they are. I've got 15 olives, 2 ounces of cheese, and a macro muffin.